So we're back with another pet card spotlight, and I bet you won't be able to guess what this little blue fairy is. Hello and welcome to Life Begins at 20. My name is Mark and thank you so much for joining me. In this video we're going to be going over Michael's pet card from his cube in this community spotlight, so without any further ado I'll let him take it away.
Hey there everyone, my name is Michael, also known as EspionSun on Twitter, and in this community spotlight I'm going to be talking to you about my pet card. There are a lot of cards in my Magic experience that qualify as pet cards, most of them rather expensive like Liliana of the Veil and Bitter Blossom, but the one that is most dear to me is also the cheapest and most effective of them all, Spellstutter Sprite. Spellstutter Sprite costs 1 generic mana and 1 blue mana for a 1/1 fairy creature with flash and flying, and when Spellstutter Sprite enters the battlefield, counter target spell unless its controller pays X, where X is the number of fairies you control. Originally printed in Lorwyn, Spellstutter Sprite is probably best known as an integral part of the infamously powerful blue-black fairies deck in Lorwyn Morningtide Standard, a tempo control deck that won its games with a strong token engine fueled by Bitter Blossom, and then locking down the late game with counterspells and removal. The deck was actually so strong in its standard that, much like the recent Aetherworks Marvel decks, you either had to be the one playing it, or design your deck from the ground up with the express purpose of beating it. If you couldn't disrupt the engine at least somewhat, you would soon be facing down an armada of 1/1 flyers, more often than not receiving Shroud and a +1/+1 boost from Scion of Una, the Fairy Lord of Choice, backed up with a suite of counterspells and removal, which more often than not made the game unwinnable as soon as turn 4. But Spellstutter Sprite is a ruthlessly efficient creature spell itself. A 1/1 flash flyer for 2 mana is already efficient, but a relevant creature type, combined with a counterspell stapled onto the body, makes it one of the most annoying creatures ever printed. Because the counterspell effect is triggered by Spellstutter entering the battlefield and not a cast trigger, it counts the sprite itself, meaning at the absolute worst, you get a 1/1 flyer at instant speed that also force spikes a spell from the opponent for 2 mana. Combined with Bitter Blossom and Mutavault, 2 of the most common cards in larger budget cubes, and many of the other strong fairies such as Vendilion Click, Mistbind Click, Puppeteer Click, and Sower of Temptation, the sprite can very often force the opponent to pay exorbitant amounts of mana to resolve their spells. Making an opponent pay 4, 5, or even 6 extra mana is a downright common occurrence. A 6 or 7 mana Tarmogoyf is much less threatening than a 2 mana Tarmogoyf, don't you think? Bitter Blossom itself even contributes to Spellstutter due to it being a fairy tribal enchantment. The synergy Spellstutter brings to any cube with a blue-based control deck is nearly unbeatable when played properly, let alone a tribal cube with a fairies deck already in it. Fairies have always been my favorite tribe in Magic, in every aspect. Flavor, playability, art, everything. And in my opinion, no cube should be without the little pixie that could, Spellstutter Sprite. Trust me, you'll be glad you gave her a chance when she force spikes that damnation you really could not afford to let resolve.
So there we have Michael's pet card there, and I'm very glad that he was able to share that with us. It's really great to see all of these different cards that people have had either stories with or just enjoy playing with, and I'm really enjoying putting this series together and watching it grow. And if you'd like to have the opportunity yourself to be a part of this series, there'll be instructions in the comment section below and also in the description there for you as well of how you can get involved. So thank you again, Michael, so much for sharing that story, and it's definitely a card I might well give a go try. I would just like to take this moment to thank my Patreons of the channel. I can't thank you enough for the help and support that you're giving me. If you'd like to do the same, head over to patreon.com/lifebeginsat20, and there'll be a link in the description below for that as well, where there are plenty of rewards to choose from. With your support, we can really push to make this channel even better. Be sure to check out our sponsor 5colorcombo.com for a great range of Magic the Gathering accessories with stunning artwork, plus a great app to draft and create decks on the fly. Use the referral code LifeBegins20 for 5% off. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for new videos every Tuesday and Friday. With your support, we can really help this channel to grow. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.